Hello everybody, this is part 5 of What If Deku Had All for One. Here we go. Oh, on his way from home from the beach, Zuko reminisces on the first few days of Zuko having his new quirk. And the teacher says, "Hello everybody, guess what? Zuko Midoriya has a quirk now. And his quirk is called giving and takens, where basically he can give and take quirks. And everyone looks at Izuku and moves their table a little bit farther away from Izuku. And Bakugo says, "Were you hiding this quirk all along?" And Izuku says, "No. No, I wasn't. And Bakugo just stands there looking at Izuku and then just walks back to his seat and acts like nothing happened. And for the rest of that day, it was, it was isolation, but it wasn't the common beatings of back when Izuku was quirkless. Anyway, back to modern day, Izuku comes home and says, "Hello, Mom." And his mother says, "How was your day with Shinso at the beach?" And Izuku says, "Well, it was nice. I actually earned, and got basically more experience with my adaptability." And Inko says, Good. I actually have 2 more quirks that could be decently useful because it's more ranged than the ones that you have." And Izuku says, "Interesting. What are they?" They're both somewhat sibling quirks, where basically the reason I can get both of them is because of the fact that a family wanted to know if they could have their family members still want to be basically in their will before they died. They wanted to have their body used for science and stuff like that, to have their body be worth something after death. And well, all this fits the criteria of the will. Anyway, Izuku says, "I'm going to be just saying this out loud. I'm just curious if I can even take quirks from the dead." Inko says, "To my knowledge, you can, because your father could, but your quirks could be different in that way." And basically, when Izuku and Inko head to where the family that they're going to get the quirks from it is the Imokai family, where many of them have weaker quirks. Well, what I mean by that is that not really any of them are pros. And mostly are just in telemarketing. Anyway, when Izuku goes to the bodies of the deceased, he's to take the quirks. He feels a bit having some reservations of taking dead people's quirks, but they're not using them anymore. Or that's what his mother said. And when he felt his hands on those bodies, he felt 2 quirks. They were faint, like they were going to disappear, but they were still there, and Izuku took them and and he got 2 quirks. One is called Burning Gaze, where basically that when the quirk is activated, the individual that is hit by the quirk arc basically feels like the room's gotten hotter and can get up to a degree of 193 degrees, to the point where it's actually having their body boil from the inside out. But it took the individual lots of focus, and well, it was kind of difficult to use. And the same thing with the other quirk, but the reverse, where basically it's freezing glare, where basically it can freeze anything looked at. And for people, it would give a shudder of coldness, is if seen, and could get as low as negative 75, or even colder. But those are the 2 quirks Izuku got from this and this. And when Izuku and Inko go home, Izuku says, "Thanks, Mom, for setting that up. I'm gonna talk to Shinso online." And then head to bed. And after a little bit of training. And love you. And Izuku heads to his room and basically calls all Shinso and says, "Guess what, Shinso?" And Shinso says, "Yeah, I got 2 more quirks." And Shinso says, "What are the 2 quirks?" "Burning and freezing glare." Or basically, I can use something similar to a Eraserhead. Huh, interesting. Any side effects? Well, basically, both have similar side effects of basically having dry eye and basically having the same problems anyone with an eye-based quirk would have. But besides that, they're not really too powerful, but honestly they seem pretty useful, and if I use them in tandem, then I can just upper or lower the temperature of what I'm looking at without really any problems. But besides that, I feel like it's a pretty good works, all considered, because not many people want to give up their quirks, even people that are on their deathbed. So yeah. Anyway, Shinso, so how's your foster parents been? It's been good. Good. I just got adopted. I just got adopted halfway through our friendship, so. Oh, yeah. And Izuku, yes. How do you survive your exercises? Izuku says, "They're not that bad. The ones I show you is only about 25% of what I normally do. Who nowadays?" And Shinso says, "You're insane. You're just utterly insane." And Shinso hangs up. And Izuku says, "I don't understand why that's insane." And starts to squat and 100 per set of squats. And basically doing 100 push-ups per rep. Or, yeah. And basically, he says, now let's do some analysis on these 2 quirks. He starts to use one in each eye and says, these quirks are pretty compatible, out of everything considered. Like, yeah, many of the other ones are pretty compatible as well. But these 2 are especially so, and it makes sense because of the fact they were siblings in life. so that makes sense. But, well, besides a dry eye, I can see the fact that it takes a bit of the cold from the body if you use the freezing glare, and it takes the heat from the body if you use the burning glare. Besides that, I don't see any major drawbacks. So, well, he closes the book on his new analysis notebook and says, "Time for me to sleep." And that is the end of video. I know this video is a bit more or rugged in the middle, but I hope you like it. Good, everybody, and thank you for watching to this point.